Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Back on the record, it's something that hasn't happened in months. The White House coronavirus team publicly discussing the status of the federal government's pandemic response and what we can expect. And guilty plea. A Michigan man admits to participating in the conspiracy plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Our Sean Lay has been listening in on the court hearing and will join us with a live report that is very eye-opening into what was planned. But we do begin with breaking news. Former Macomb County prosecutor Eric Smith has pled guilty in federal court to one count of obstruction of justice. The charge stems from Smith's alleged misuse of county forfeiture funds and attempts to cover it up. Smith has agreed to a sentence of 21 months in federal prison and will have to pay nearly $70,000. Our other breaking news we're following this noon, Fiat Chrysler are now part of Stellantis. That's the new company name, and it has reached a settlement deal in that ongoing federal corruption probe. The automaker has agreed to pay a $30 million fine to end the years-long investigation into auto executives in the UAW. The investigation led to more than a dozen convictions and revealed both union leaders and auto executives broke federal labor laws. We are expecting to hear more on the settlement this afternoon, so we'll have updates for you on later editions of Local 4 and clickondetroit.com. Thank you for joining us this noon. Just in, Ty Garbin admits to participating in the conspiracy plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer, securing the first conviction in this high-profile case involving violent extremism right here in our state of Michigan. Sean Lay joins us now live. He was listening in.
Rhonda, good afternoon to you. Huge development in this case, Rhonda, at this noon hour. You're right, Ty Garbin, the first person to become convicted, and now he is going to help the government convict the other men Garbin says he was training with in a very real plot, according to Ty Garbin, to kidnap the governor.
At this noon hour, Ty Garbin from Heartland is pleading guilty in federal court in Grand Rapids, admitting to his role in the conspiracy plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. In his plea deal, Garbin says he knowingly joined in the plot, and he admits that he took part in overt training exercises designed to simulate a violent attack on Governor Whitmer's summer home. Garbin's plea agreement is packed with new information about the plot. Garbin, along with other men from Metro Detroit, were members of the militia-style group Wolverine Watchmen, who joined ranks with others who were planning a violent attack on the Capitol, the murders of politicians, and the kidnapping of the governor. In preparing for an attack on the governor's summer home, Garbin and others built what's called a shoot house out of plywood to simulate storming into the governor's home. Ty Garbin is now agreeing to help the feds in their investigation, telling them everything he knows about the others who are charged. In return, the U.S. attorney will consider a reduction in Garbin's sentence.
Look, bottom line here, Ty Garbin was facing life in prison. Now he has flipped. He originally said he was going to fight these charges, that he was an innocent bystander watching all this go down. But in the documents filed today and in court, Ty Garbin was admitting that he had a very deep role in this. And he says, Rhonda, the plot was very, very real. And now he's going to testify against the same men he was training with. Back to you.
Oh, incredibly scary. Sean, thank you. Also making headlines, the FBI identifies more than 400 suspects in that deadly riot at the U.S. Capitol building 3 weeks ago. Officials are saying that more than 150 criminal cases have been filed, and so far that includes a man from Wixom, Michael Foy. He's accused of attacking police with a hockey stick. The top prosecutor on the case says that the goal is to identify as many people as possible who entered the Capitol building during that siege. Globally, more than 100 million people have been infected with the coronavirus, and more than 2 million people have died. And experts say those reported figures are probably much higher in reality. Meantime, the Biden White House coronavirus response team just held a press briefing to discuss the status of the federal government's pandemic response. Dr. Anthony Fauci touched on vaccine development and these new variants.
What we're looking at closely now is others that you see on the slide, Janssen, AstraZeneca, and Novavax, which are in various states of trial. Of particular importance that you'll be hearing about likely within the next few days to a week are the results from the Janssen J&J trial. And the reason they're important, it relates to some of the things that Dr. Walensky said. And that is, it's a phase 3 trial with a different platform, a human adenovirus vector. But it is going to be looking at efficacy not only in the United States, but also in South Africa and in Brazil. So we will get a good feel from those, I hope, I believe we will. We'll let the data speak for itself. But what we will see was the relative efficacy against the wild type virus that is predominantly in the United States, as well as the South African isolate, which in fact is something that we will be able to get a feel for the efficacy there. So we'll have some comparative efficacy, which will inform us on where we would go if the eventuation occurs that we do have that particular lineage that would take seat itself in the United States.
Administration experts will host these briefings 3 times a week to keep the public informed. And you may recall the Trump administration ended the practice of regular scientific briefings early on in the pandemic after the former president expressed anger over the dire warnings being issued by the experts. Now to the coronavirus here at home. January is now the pandemic's deadliest month in the United States, with nearly 80,000 lives lost in 1 month. The grim toll passed the previously high set last month, and January isn't even over yet. Nationwide, the United States passes 25,450,000 positive coronavirus cases, and more than 425,000 people have died from this virus. This also is according to the Johns Hopkins University database. Closer to home in Michigan, we are expecting to get the very latest coronavirus cases over the past 24 hours this afternoon, so we will update you on that and later editions of Local 4 and, of course, on Click on Detroit and your push alerts. Meantime, the federal government is buying more coronavirus vaccines and shipping more out to states that have been asking for more because they just aren't getting enough to meet demand. Tracy Potts takes a closer look at all that's happening in D.C. today.
Happening today, the White House COVID response team is giving the first of what's supposed to be regular updates as the president announces he's ordered more vaccine.
I want to urge everyone to take the vaccine when it is your turn.
Vice President Harris getting her second dose of the coronavirus vaccine, with millions of Americans still unable to get their first.
I'm going to try and get up at around 3 o'clock in the morning and see if I can get a reservation for my first shot.
President Biden announced the government's buying another 200 million doses, but they won't arrive till summer. For now, he's shipping 16% more to states and giving them 3 weeks notice of what's to come.
We're at the mercy of whatever is sent.
The brutal truth is it's going to take months before we can get the majority of Americans vaccinated. Months.
Democrats are planning a vote on COVID relief as early as next week.
The work must move forward, preferably with our Republican colleagues, but without them if we must.
Republicans objecting to the $1.9 trillion price tag.
All of us want to help people that have lost their jobs, the small businesses, but that's not what this is. This is a liberal payback.
Only 5 Republicans voted with Democrats on whether impeachment is constitutional, far short of the 17 needed to convict former President Trump. Meantime, President Biden today focusing on climate change. He's expected to sign new orders on science, national security, land and water conservation, a new Green Jobs Commission, and a World Climate Summit on Earth Day. I'm Tracy Potts.
All right, Tracy, thank you. And back to the coronavirus pandemic and its financial impact on Americans. Stocks are dipping today as investors are awaiting another batch of corporate earnings results. They are also waiting for the Federal Open Market committee's January monetary policy decision. Fed officials have signaled that interest rates would stay at their current near zero level through at least 2023. And they have also signaled that their asset purchase program would continue at the current rate until more progress is made with economic recovery. As a result, economists expect no changes in policy stance. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about the sunshine, because that is the positive part of our day today. And as long as you're looking at it like this from inside, it looks and feels great. But Brandon, outside, I've been out there for a few, and it is quite
different
cold.
Story.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a little bit of a breeze that just adds to it, and it's a shame because it is a beautiful sky, good for the spirit. If you want to just get out there and try to soak some of it up, maybe go for a drive, I don't know. Low to middle 20s, only warming a few degrees. Winds are coming from the north, about 5 to 12 miles an hour, like we're seeing in Pontiac and Flint. So wind chills barely in the teens there, but mostly teens even through the rest of the day. Our sky condition map looks really nice, too. A lot of those yellow orbs up there. We have temps maxing out at about 28 degrees. We'll likely get some cloud cover coming back with those north winds off the big lakes, but really not concerned about any snow. We have more cold and one storm to track for you coming up.
All right, we'll see you here in a few, Brandon. Thank you. Still to come, new information on that powerful tornado that left residents outside of Birmingham, Alabama, with little time to take cover. Also ahead, a quick programming note before we go to break. Make sure that you tune in tonight. It is Governor Whitmer's third State of the State address. You'll be able to watch it live right here on Local 4 beginning at 7 p.m. tonight and on clickondetroit.com. We'll be right back.